My name is Justin Nelson. I started Fernweh Woodworking 3.5 years ago, and I do small batch custom modern furniture. So the reason that we wanted to make this jig is the risk factor of making this on the completed chair, because I glue everything up and then usually there's just this block sitting here. And then I take my grinder with my cut-saw wheel and I go in here and just hand shape all of this. For the shaping of this chair, I start usually with the cut-saw wheel, everything's blocked up. I do all the rough shaping and then I use rasp, oak shave, sandpaper, etc. to shape the rest. So this is literally just spooning this out normally. The risk factor is pretty high because at that point the whole chair is glued up, and if something goes wrong, you're kind of screwed. So I want to figure out how to especially bevel this part automatically on the ShaperOrigin so that I don't have the risk of slipping and cutting off the bevel altogether or going too deep. And then the other thing is that sanding this is a huge pain because when I'm using the cut-saw wheel, I get all of the deep cut marks across grain, and then sanding it up onto that bevel is just really difficult. So I just got this panel out, and this file is pretty much I'm making one of these, just a cut through template, and then I'll mount the arm of my chair into that. This is the jig where we'll bevel out part of the armrest all the way down. And so first off, we're going to set a grid because we'll be using this jig over and over on different arms. We're going to set the grid based off of this opening, and we chose this side for the anchor corner. So first, to do that, you take the router out, and what we're going to do, I've got the engraving bit in here right now. What we're going to do is flip this around so that we just have the shank of the engraving bit, and then we'll use that to butt it up against the X and Y axis so that it knows where it is in space for this jig. So we're going to do a new scan of our workspace. Okay, so now we're going to set our grid so that then we can anchor the piece when we clamp in, the block that will be the armrest. We're going to anchor it on this corner. So this will be the axis for our X and Y. And then we hit new grid. And then I hit set probe depth, and then I just say probe X, and then I'm going to do another spot along the X axis. Gently hit it, probe X, and I'm going to go to my Y axis, and felt a hit right there, probe Y. So now you can see the anchor point that I talked about is exactly gridded out, so everything is perfectly lined up at this point. But I want it to anchor on that top right corner, so I can choose top right, and that chooses which point in my file will anchor with the axes that we just probed. I've got the bullnose bit in here, and we're gonna try to cut this arc. We're gonna put the 1/4" cutter back in, and we're just gonna pocket out this whole area. Nice. Perfect. I did the inside cut and it perfectly lined up. So here's the final piece, and this will be shaped into the armrest. But it's just been a great tool to have around in the shop, and it's come in super handy.